Welcome back to The Agenda. This is Katie Chambers. I'm normally on the other side of the desk producing the show, but this week you have me presenting it because Georgia is on holiday. And I don't know about you, but the roads have definitely been a lot calmer this week, driving in, maybe with people going away for Eid and obviously the schools being off. But if you do drive in the UAE and you're here this weekend, there are some important new laws that you need to know about. They involved stricter penalties, AI enforcement and updated licensing rules. The UAE traffic laws are about to undergo their most significant update in years, I'm told. And they come into effect on the 29th of March, that's this Saturday, with new regulations including fines for reckless driving, tighter controls on tailgating, speeding and dangerous overtaking, and expanded legal accountability for both drivers and pedestrians. Even jaywalking will be monitored more closely under these new rules, with perhaps questions now being raised about who bears the responsibility in the event of an accident. There are also changes of who needs a UAE driving licence, with exemptions introduced for certain nationalities and a more, say, broader focus on smart traffic management and AI-powered enforcement. Loads there. So if you've got any questions, do get in touch with me, because I'm delighted to say from a legal standpoint, we can unpack it all by Devanand Mahadeva. He's director at Bakertilly Law Corporation. Good morning, Devanand. Thank you so much for coming into the studio.
Good morning, and thank you for having me around.
Yeah, so as I said, Devanand's here. We're on 4001 on messages. 04871 5500 is the WhatsApp. So if you have any questions that come up in the next 10 minutes that you'd like him to answer, please do get in touch. Devanand, first of all, obviously we know these laws come into force this weekend. Yeah. What's your view on the scale of the reform and why it's happening now?
Especially because of the safety issues. Because over a period of time, of course, we have expanded in the UAE, and a lot of different nationalities come into this country with different culture, different attitude, different ways of driving, are used to different ways of driving in their own respective countries. So when they come here, the discipline becomes a challenge of uniforming all these nationalities. So that is what they have been gradually developing laws to, have some penalties and get them into discipline. So this has come a little further towards it.
Okay, let's start with the driver licence update. Which nationalities are now exempt from taking a UAE driving test, and what are the legal implications for companies employing, say, foreign drivers?
Yeah, that is a large list of it.
Okay, you've got 2 minutes.
That's a large list of it, mostly Western countries or the Far Eastern countries, where when they come in, they can get, which has been there before itself. Not only from this law, earlier itself, it has been exempted, where you don't have to do a test, you directly get your license. Only thing is, for example, a Britisher comes here and gets a license directly, it becomes a little time to get used to it, because they drive on the left-hand side of the road, and here you drive on the right-hand side of the road.
I see. Devanand, I just want to ask you to come a little bit closer to the mic so we can hear you a bit more loudly. Yeah. That would be great. The new law also introduces tougher penalties for reckless driving. Yeah. What does that include, and what changes should drivers be aware in terms of fines and even legal consequences?
See, earlier predominantly the reckless driving was related to speeding. But now they're not only looking at speeding, they're looking at, changing lanes drastically, what we call as sweeping on the highways, because they keep a cruise control on and then they don't want to slow down and they go sweeping on the highway.
I know exactly what you mean by that, and it is frightening when that happens.
Yes. So they overtake from your right side, left side, whichever side it is. So these sort of things have made them bring stricter rules and regulations so that they can monitor that. And as you rightly said, the AI cameras which are being used can check your seat belts. They can check what you're doing with your mobile phone inside your car, as well as if you're sweeping on the road.
And another one that I wanted to ask about were pedestrians, jaywalkers. Yep. My understanding is, can they now be partially held responsible for accidents?
A very good question. It has become a rule now, but earlier there are judgments to that effect. What we call as contributory negligence. So if a pedestrian is crossing the road not on a pedestrian crossing or where they are not allowed to cross, or in a road which is above 80 kilometer speed limit, below that it's okay, it's interior roads, but above 80 kilometer speed limit, if they are crossing the road, they are also being negligent, and you cannot blame always the drivers. And we have seen court judgments earlier for contributory negligence, and they have reduced the blood money which is paid. Normally it's 200,000. I have seen cases where they have reduced it to 100,000, 50,000 because this person has jaywalked. So that has been only judgments from judges or from the court system in the UAE. But now they have made it a law itself that, if you jaywalk, it becomes a contributory negligence because you have also been negligent. You cannot blame it always on the car driver. So your blood money can get reduced or it can be denied.
I see. So if you're jaywalking, and I hate to use this expression, and you survive, nothing can happen to you, or can you still get fined if you're jaywalking?
You still get fined.
Yes.
I mean, what we are talking about is, sort of a situation where somebody gets injured or somebody gets killed because of jaywalking.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's that side of things. So the implication for the person that sadly commits that crime,
yes,
it's great. It's less for them in terms of what you said, blood money.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. Thank you for clearing that up. Dubai's also kind of cracking down, like you said, with these AI-driven cameras, with automated penalties becoming more common. Are drivers likely to face challenges, say, contesting fines? And what resource will they have under the law if they want to do that?
They will be, already there is a system of challenging fines. You can go to the what we call the Murur, the headquarters of the traffic department, and you can challenge fines. And there are mishaps on fines earlier itself. The cameras take and the number plates don't come clear, so somebody else get fined and things like that. You can go and contest, and the photos can be taken and proven. Same thing can be done with AI cameras. See, you're not part of that this thing, or it can be a situation where somebody else was driving your car. That is going to happen quite often now with AI cameras, because somebody else driving, and
if you're using say a safe driver, or you've lent your car to a friend.
Yes. So or you are using a professional driver who's working for you. All those things can happen where he has not worn the belt, or he's using a mobile phone and things like that. Those things can be captured better in the AI cameras, and you can absolve yourself of getting that black points on your license.
Amazing. That's a relief, isn't it? We've had a couple of questions in which I'd like to put to you. This one's from Vincent saying, what are there fines for people driving slow in the left-hand lane and deliberately blocking traffic behind them, as well as people jumping queues and intersections?
Yes, I mean, driving slow is punishable. I mean, you have fines for it. Like driving fast, below 60 kilometers, if you drive on Sheikh Zayed Road, you're going to get fined, because these AI cameras are going to detect that. And if you look at Emirates like Abu Dhabi, they have certain tracks which you cannot drive less than 120. If you drive less than, again, they fine you for slow driving. So I think these AI cameras are going to be pretty efficient on that.
That's great to hear, really good to hear. And one more from Vincent actually saying, what about scooters driving inside communities on main roads?
That has become a major challenge. With all these battery scooters running around the block. See, they are like bicycles on a motorized situation. And they're supposed to use the lanes which is meant for them, or the pedestrian crossings, as well as the pavements which are meant for it. But you see a lot of them on the road. And this is one of the reasons why they have this contributory negligence clause. Now, you go and hit a person who is riding the scooter on a highway, you are not blamed for it. That becomes his mistake as well. It's equivalent to jaywalking with a motorized scooter.
I see. It's the same sort of thing. So if I was a driver and God forbid I hit somebody, what would be the legal implications? I know you said it wouldn't be as much, but for me as the driver.
See, if you are a rash driver, or if you have been overspeeding, or you have been negligently driving, then it's a different issue altogether. Then you can be accused of manslaughter. Or, like you jumped a signal, or you have not respected a pedestrian crossing and all those things. But you have been running on a highway. I mean, you have been driving on a highway and somebody jumps across or walks across or comes with a scooter and you get hit. I think they are going to take it slow with the driver and take it hard on the person who has crossed the road or who has ridden the scooter.
So we're walking or being on a scooter in the wrong place where they shouldn't be. And there's that coming in from the 29th, all those changes to do with scooters and jaywalking.
They've already started regulating certain things, but it's becoming strict as a law.
Okay. Is there any other laws that I haven't covered in my questions? Because I know there's quite a lot of changes that you think that the audience and listeners should know about.
Yeah, something else which is very important, which they have to understand about foreign licenses. And as you firstly asked, employing foreign drivers. See, foreign licenses or foreign international license holders can drive in the UAE, provided they are bringing their own car from their country or they come and rent a car and drive, which is common in all the countries. But something which people don't realize is that with a foreign license, if you are a resident visa holder, you cannot drive here. You have to have a
UAE
license. You cannot drive with a foreign license because there are a lot of countries in the world who allow you to drive with a foreign license when you become a resident for the first 6 months, first 1 year, depending on the country they allow you. But UAE doesn't allow that. If you become a resident, you have to have a UAE license. And visitors can drive, but they can drive only a rent-a-car. So your friend is flying in from some country and he wants to borrow your car and drive. He may do that with a foreign license.
So you need an international driver's license, is that?
Yeah, he has an international driver's license. He may drive your car, but he's not going to be covered by the insurance which you have.
Is that a new change then?
No, it has been always there.
Okay, because I'm sure my brother-in-law came to stay. He had an international driver's license and we checked with our insurer and they said they would cover him. Is that just depending on insurers?
Depending on insurers. So many of the insurers may say, no, we will not cover because he didn't have a Emirati license.
Okay, I see.
And it's your private car. It's not a rent-a-car.
Of course. And I do remember when I'm relatively new to the UAE, I'm in my 3rd year, when we first moved here, it was one of the first things I did when I got my Emirates ID was to go and have the eye test and, go and get my UAE driver's license because we wanted to buy cars. So in turn, we wanted to drive it. That's really interesting, Devanand. Thank you so much. Just overall, obviously it comes into effect on March the 29th. Are we going to see some sweeping change overnight or have they been gradually bringing these in over time?
I think they have gradually been bringing it over. Only thing is now they have more formalized the whole situation. I mean, already you have AI cameras catching things. If you go on the Emirates Road or the Sheikh Mohammed Road, you find a lot of these big AI cameras. So they have already set the system up. Now they are making it far more stricter and making the rules straightforward. That's it.
So we could be seeing more people, I suppose, bearing the consequences of these new fines and rules and regulations. Devanand Mahadeva, thank you so much. You're from Bakertilly Law Corporation, a director there. It's been amazing to unpick all that with you this morning.